to the Week 6 broadcast of SRN Truck Series. We are at the Monster Mile this week. The drivers are going through practice right now. Let's take a quick peek here at what our track conditions are like today. 72 degrees, 20% humidity, 2 mile an hour of wind. Track temperature right now is 89 degrees, so that's going to be no problem at all for us. Much cooler than some other races we've had, so it shouldn't be too bad, too loose out there. Currently, right now in practice, we have Bobby Grady up in the pole, Bobby Hall Jr. in second, and Alex Healy is in third, Rick Baldwin in fourth, Mark Cofield in fifth. So that's your top 5 in practice. See how they end up doing here in qualifying. Put the ticker up here so y'all can see how that qualifying or practice order is going. Got 45 seconds left here, so these drivers are just about finishing this up, and then they're going to do their qualifying runs. And let's try to find somebody who's on track. Looks like everybody's getting off track now, actually. There we go. Let's go TV3. There's Steven Shue running around here, still getting some practice in. He always comes in cold with no practice for the week, so he's going to get in as many laps as he possibly can. Speaking of Steven Shue, you see on the side of his truck there, Foothills Motorsports. We're starting to see in this series at Season 1, Week 6, we're starting to see some rivalries come up here. We see Foothills Motorsports, obviously one of our better teams, and then Flex Motorsports is also right up there, and they are dominating the season points, and also we're starting to see they are I guess you could say, getting a rivalry going. The intensity's heating up. These guys want to win, and so we'll see how this kind of develops as the season goes. Here goes Steven Shue off for his lap. A few vehicles here taking time, and we'll update this as we get their times in. He goes coming up to speed. We got about 4 or 5, 6, maybe 7, let's call it, on the track right now. A couple of them are maybe waiting another moment here. I see 4, 5, 6 of them now pulling off and starting their laps. Nobody's clocked time yet. I think Steven Shue will be the first one here. Oh no, and he hits the wall coming out of 1. That's going to be it for his qualifying effort. He might be able to go back in. He might be able to tow, go back in, and maybe get one more lap in. Okay, as we're starting to see some times here, there's Rick Baldwin is done with his. He is going to be in third. Mark Cofield right now is in P1. We don't have it on the ticker, probably because it's qualifying, but Mark Cofield's still in first place. We got Chris Phillips in second, Rick Baldwin in third. There we go. There's the ticker. That'll give you kind of where we're qualifying at here. Looking forward to today's race. This should be very interesting to see how these guys are going to handle tires. The tire fall off is pretty significant here. So, you know, really, if we get green flag runs, we're going to see some guys really start to fall off who were fast earlier in runs, and then people that were taking it easy and not beating up their tires, they're going to be able to move back through the field from falling back a little bit. So it should be very interesting to see this strategy. They do have 4 sets of tires for 150 laps. They do have 1 fast repair. They are on 75% fuel. So they are going to have to pit at least 3 times. I would assume that they're going to take tires every single time and have 1 in the bank just in case. So I think just about everybody who's going to qualify has. Looks like we still have a couple stragglers here on the track. That's the 93 right there of Thomas Hall. He has already taken his time. Gordon Spain shows to still be on the track. There he is. He is still taking a time. That might be his lap there. Looks like we only got one qualifying lap here. He rockets up to P5. And Alex Healy just takes the pole. And we still have a couple of cars on track here. Let me see if I can figure out how that is. Robert Charette. Oh, no, and he did the same thing Steven Shue did, unfortunately. Robert Charette goes around there. Unfortunate for him. It's easy to do off these corners. I think we're going to see this in the race as well. We're going to see it's just sometimes you're not even trying hard. It's just a matter of it happens. So we'll see how much that plays into the race. Hopefully not too many cautions. We don't want to just parade around here all day, but we do want to get some good racing in. And this looks like Gary Steele is going to take a time here. I'm trying to look at the clock and see how much time they got left, but I don't think it's going to be much. Hopefully he should be able to get around by the end of the session and see where this lands him. It's good looking 8 car there with that chrome number. Puts him in P14 with that lap. Like that. I think it's 6B Designs is what he's got on that vehicle today. There. Oh, and there he goes. So that's the end of the session there. Let's go ahead and bring up our grid. If I can get that to show up. There we go. Well, that's not giving me the beginning of the grid. That would be best, wouldn't it? What the heck? All right, well, that's not going to work. So I'll just give it to you here. So we got Alex Healy gets the pole. Bobby Grady is going to be in second. Bobby Hall in third. Mark Cofield is in fourth. Chris Phillips in fifth. Rick Baldwin is in sixth. Gordon Spain seventh. Michael Brooks is in eighth. Matt Grenier ninth. John Schuenbachler is in 10th. Scott Milliken is 11th. Daniel Worthington 12th. 13 is going to be George Sprinkle. Gary Steele in 14th. Thomas Hall 15th. And Wes Weigand is 16th. Jeff Ledford in 17th. Mike Babachek is 18th. Mike Allen is 19th. 20th is going to be Dakota Shepard. Alex Foster is in 21st. Eric Corder is 22nd. Isaac Singleton 23rd. 24th is Steven Shue. Robert Charette 25th. Michael White is going to be 26th. Scott Millard is going to be 27th. And rounding out the field in 28th is going to be John Van Blaircombe. So 28 car field this evening. Let's get this grid that doesn't even work off of here. And we'll bring back this ticker and we will get ready to go here. They should be rolling off here shortly. Going to have to take it real easy here on the first couple of laps with these cars all bunched up here and the track being loose and not having a lot of rubber on it. I would expect it to be pretty slick out there at the beginning until we lay some rubber down. We'll see how these guys can do. Good looking field out there. Bunch of trucks tonight. And I believe at this track, since it is a short track, we will be pacing for 2 laps. So we'll go around one more time, let these guys get all caught up here and bunched up before we go green. I'm going to take a second to thank the sponsors for this race. We have MAG Real Estate out of San Antonio, Texas. And we have Natural Life Apothecary. You can visit them at naturallifetx.com for for all your herbs, oils, tinctures, and CBD products. They have a full online store that you can shop at. And you can even get a discount on many, or not, probably most of the products with code SRN for your discount code. So go check them out today. And we are going green. It was just one lap, and we got a car off pace here. Looks like Bobby Grady in the 2 car just did not go. Wrong gear, something. Not sure what happened there, but he kind of put it up high and got out of the way so those cars could go. It kind of stretches out our front. Alex Healy is going to get away with it right here. You can see Chris Phillips already on the inside with the 6 car. He is already making up spots. He's not wasting any time. So there they're going to settle in a little single file. They need to get a few laps in here, but it looks like a little bit further back right here we got a little bit. Bobby Grady in that 2 car is still off pace. Not sure if he damaged it. Hit the wall again. Something is going on with him. We look at the 33, looking inside the 19, see if he can make that pass work. He's going to. I think the 19 wisely gives that to him right now. That's Rick Baldwin in that 19. The 33 is going to be John Schuenbachler. You're up on the high side there. It's pretty loose. It's early in the race. Probably a good idea to just go ahead and let him have that. And you see somebody up there, the 03 car, as we got a truck that's in the wall. Not sure who that was. We'll see if we can get that to pop back up. He just kind of got a little loose there, tagged the wall, and kept going. So I think we're going to be okay here to stay green. I was fixing to say the 03 right here is kind of using a little bit higher line, but not this time by. He was up high there earlier. I thought maybe he was going to try to make that work, but that is difficult to do. I think on the outside you can, if you're outside of another truck, you can kind of hold them down so you get better momentum off the corner. But I don't know that when you're single file, if that's where you're going to want to run. I just don't think it's the fastest line. And as we see now, the 93 cars, the yellow truck that hit the wall that is going into the pits, that's Thomas Hall. So he's going to have to get some damage repaired here early. As still out front, Alex Healy has got a good lead on the field. There you got a good look at it right there. The top 5 right there and a big gap behind him. Alex Healy's got some great pace early on. We'll just have to see if he can hold it or if he's going to beat up those tires too much. We'll have to see. It appears that further back in the field here, we still have a little bit of some racing going on here, some side-by-side. You see the 15 of Matt Grenier up on top of the 33. See who's going to prevail there. Let's go on the nose and take a look at that. So the 15 up top there's not quite as fast. I just don't think that top side's going to work for him. They're going to be bottom feeders tonight. They're going to want to be there. And this is on board with Rick Baldwin's nose on that Flex Motorsports vehicle of Matt Grenier. He can get up to him entering the corner, but there's just sometimes nowhere to go. You can't really change your line mid-corner to short track like this. Meanwhile, up front, Alex Healy has a 1-second lead at this point, so he is burned out. And as I go off there, the 19 is going inside the 15, and I think on this next corner he's going to be able to make that work. He's got the preferred line. There he goes. 15 goes really high. None for him to do. He might actually lose another spot to the 17 there. That's George Sprinkle that might be coming through as well. Looks like he's going to stay on the inside so he can make that pass. But he is actually falling back a little bit, so he's not going to be able to make that stick. And there you have, if you see him right there back behind that, Bobby Grady, who has recovered. He is now sitting in the 11th position, so he recovered from whatever his starting issue was, and he's doing okay now. Let's give you a look back up front. There's the lead. It's a big lead, too. We're 11 laps in, so this is about the time where we're going to start to see some tire fall off. We'll see if that's going to sneak up and bite him or if he's going to be okay. Got some close racing here between the 21 and the 38. Gordon Spain in the 38, Mark Cofield in the 21. Looks like 38 kind of backs up a little bit there. Didn't want to push it too hard. Oh, and that's the 93 again. I don't know if he got all of his damage fixed, but he is in that fence again on the inside this time. We'll see if that brings out a caution, but if he keeps it rolling, we probably won't. And it looks like he's gone back to the pits, so there he is in the pits. Tough day for him. Just a loose track. Probably didn't get himself a lot of practice and wasn't quite prepared for this. I'm sure he'll be back strong next week, though. Back here, we got a little gaggle of trucks here. See if we can get some action back here. Still got over a second of a lead out front, but these 4 trucks seem to be pretty close together. You got it bringing up the rear, and there's Scott Milliken in that 03 with Bobby Grady in the tube in front of him, and Daniel Worthington 113 in front of him with Matt Grenier, who's lost a couple of spots here in the last few laps. So see if he continues. And look at, you see the 03 of Scott Milliken. You try and use that outside again. What he's doing there is he's diamonding the corner. He's going from inside to outside in the middle, back to inside off. And you can really get some good drive off of the corner when you do that. So I like the technique. Curious how that's going to work for him. See, he's inside. He's going to stay inside this time because the 15 is out there, so don't blame him. Looks like the 15 is a little off pace on that high side. The 2 of Grady is trying to get by there, using the inside. Here goes the 03 on the 15, so we'll see if he can make that pass. Things sort of narrowing it up front. We got 3/4 of a second to the lead now, so nothing really happening up there. We'll stay on this, as this is probably the most close racing that we have on the track right now. And you can see that the 03, so the 03 is really high there in 3 and 4, and he kind of cuts it down. See if he does this in turn 1 as well, or if that's just something he's doing on the other side of the track. There he goes again. He kind of, I guess he kind of likes that. And you see how he kind of cuts it down. He comes off of the wall and then back to the wall. He's being able to use that throttle, so slowing down a little bit in the middle of the corners to get a run off. And you can see how he is closing on Bobby Grady, so it is working for him. See that crossover type move there. And the trucks behind him are kind of falling off a bit, so this is interesting. I did not think we would see this sort of a strategy just yet, that he was going to be able to do something like that, diamonding the corners. But here he goes now on the inside of the 2-car of Bobby Grady. And he might be able to make it off the next corner, but not there, just a little bobble. He's going to regroup here and try to get that run off and see what he can do. Meanwhile, let's bring you back up to the front. We are at about half a second. Let me zoom out a little bit so we can see that. So he's closing up to half a second there. That's Bobby Hall is closing up on him. And Chris Phillips behind that in third. These guys are definitely closing him up. They are catching him. He may have used up his tires. I'm not sure how hard he's been driving, but it does seem like he is backing up to them now. Take a look. You see that the 94 of Bobby Hall is also kind of using that high side through the center of the corner. So the 2 trucks that we're seeing do that so far are doing well. Now he goes low because he sees the other car going high. He's doing what they're not to try to get there. Here he's going to use that middle to high line again. Chris Phillips is just back there waiting for them to get side by side so he can catch him. Behind Chris Phillips is the 21 of Mark Cofield. And it might be a few laps before he can get there. Unfortunately, he is just ever so slightly inching lap by lap. He's getting a little bit more and a little bit more. And now we got some side by side back there behind him, you see. And I think in a couple laps he's going to be there. We're working lap 25 of 150. And we do have a battle. These are two Team Flex trucks, so they are probably going to race each other with some respect, as we see Chris Phillips back there in third get a little loose off of turn 2. That's not going to be too good for the tires. Here we go. There's the pass right there. He got to the inside off of that corner and made it work. Obviously, a teammate's going to give him a little bit of room. He's not going to fight him too hard, especially since he tracked him down from a full second or more back. That did kind of pull Chris Phillips up to him. Didn't take too long for that pass, so he didn't get too much free time there. But it does look like he is also closing up. So we will see if he can figure out how to save those tires enough through the rest of this run to make it back up to them. It's tough when you're in the vehicle. You know, he wants to drive as hard as he can because he can see him right there, but he knows he's probably got another 20 laps on this run, and he's got to keep those tires under him. He can't burn them up just to make the pass because they'll just pass him right back. As you see, the 97 here kind of falling off to about 0.6 of a second off of the thing. And we got a caution on track. Let's look what happened. Oh, looks like it was Matt Grenier. Let's take a look here. There he is. And let's take a look. Might be 113 as well. You see 3 wide in front of him. Oh, and the 113 just kind of came off of the wall and hit him. That's unfortunate. Let's take a look at the blimp view so we can kind of see a little bit better maybe. Yeah, he hits the wall and comes down there. Unfortunately, nothing the 113 can do once he hit that. And you know, the 15 is just a victim. Unfortunately, he just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Nothing intentional there at all, but just nowhere for the 15 to go after the 113 bounces off the wall. And the 113 being Daniel Worthington and the 15 being Matt Grenier. And that's too bad. Matt Grenier had a good run. He was falling back a little bit, just eating up those tires a little bit too much, but he probably could have fixed that on the next stop. But unfortunately, he cannot, he's not going to have that opportunity here. He's going to probably have to use a fast repair and get back out there, but he's maybe a lap down. Not the end of the world. I'm sure we'll get another caution so he can get himself back into it, but it's going to be some work from here. As you see, the 94 beats the 97 off, so the top 3 are going to hold position. And I believe, if I'm looking at it correctly here, it looks like Rick Baldwin made up a couple spots there on the pit. He is in P6 now. So we'll send him back around probably 2 more laps here, and we're gonna get bottled up, and we're gonna do it again. Good little 27 or 28 lap run at the beginning here. See if we can do that again. The longer these runs go, the more the tires are going to play. And I think you saw from like the 97, that's probably one of the best things that could have happened to him because he used his tires a little bit early and was kind of falling back just a little bit. So just heard from race control that the 113 is getting an EOL for causing that accident. Okay, 1 second. All right, sorry, here we go. So green flag underway. Looks like the 94 gets a really good jump there. The 6 car is kind of held up a little bit by the 97, and the 38 is going to take advantage of that for sure. Ooh, a little bit loose there. Everybody gets it under control, and we're all good. Little slicing and dicing here. A little too early for it to pick up that aggressively, but it may just be that their first time back on cold tires and they forgot what it was like. And that can happen for sure. As you see the 19 looking inside the 38, that's Rick Baldwin in the 19 looking on Gordon Spain in the 38, and I think he's going to easily make that pass happen. I don't think the 38 is putting up a big fight because he knew he had the preferred line. Looks, oh no, some contact there. No caution as of yet. That's the 21. That is Matt Cofield. Got into the 38. I'm going to say got into him. Looked like he kind of slid up the track a little bit. I'm not saying blame or anything. I'm just saying what I saw. And we're kind of following Rick Baldwin in the 4th position here. They're kind of lined out here. Let's go back a little bit further where we got some heavier racing. And we'll keep an eye out front there in case anything happens. Looks like side by side, the 2, Bobby Grady is up on the top side there, but can't really make that work just yet. Looks like he's going to try it again going on the outside. But that is the 1 of... it says it's the 1, but I don't think that's the 1. I think that's somebody else. I'll have to take a better look at that here in a moment. Sometimes these guys aren't running the actual numbers that they're assigned to, so that can make it a little more difficult. Yeah, that's actually the 92 who's got the 1 there, Michael Brooks. So we'll have to keep that in mind the rest of the race. There he is. That's actually the 92. So these guys are getting a little spread out as well here up front. We'll check that out. We got about a 1/4 of a second here, so they're still kind of hitting each other up pretty good. Well, it looks like that was the 19 that scraped the wall there, but I don't think no harm, no foul. He continues on. We are getting real used to seeing this 94 and 97 out front in this series. They are very strong trucks every week. As you see back in the field there, no real side-by-side battles or anything crazy going on, so we're going to stay right here at the front as they continue to battle each other, working lap 39 now. Looks like that 94 is gapping the 97 a little bit, but not a lot. He's still there. Looks like he's closing up a little bit there. He might be making a move here. He is inside now. Door to door. I think he's going to be able to make this pass. And this gets Chris Phillips in the mix. And now Chris Phillips is inside the 94. 94 has decent momentum off. I just don't know that he's going to be able to carry that going into turn 3 here. Let's take a look. Hanging pretty tough there, and there is a window for him to get in, and he does. He drops in, and now he is back in second, 97 to P1. See what Chris Phillips does here, if he's content to ride or if he wants to take advantage. 19 of Rick Baldwin is also closing the gap here. There, he's gonna take a look on Chris. And Chris is probably just thinking, hey, man, come on, we got to knock these guys off first. Rick gets a little loose underneath there, so he's gonna settle back for just a second. And now you can actually see 97 pulling away, but he scrapes the wall there a little bit. Don't think that's gonna hurt him too much. Just knocked the dust off of it. Ooh, that 6 car is loose. He's trying so hard to get back there, but I just don't think if this is going to be a long run on tires, I don't think that kind of aggressive driving is gonna help. But he's got that 94 in his sights, and he wants to pass him. Oh, and he's loose off and touches the wall a little bit. You could definitely tell we're not even halfway, and we got intensity picking up a little bit. At least up front. There's no real side-by-side close racing, going on out back, or I would bring that to you, but this is still all pretty close here, so we'll stay on this. And there you go. You got the 6 looking inside. See if he can make this work. Nope, he dips back, and there he goes again. He's got the 19 behind him, darn near pushing him. I think the 19 is pretty fast. He's just biding his time here, and the 6 gets loose, and he has to get out of the throttle. And that gives the 19 a chance to look to the inside here. So we'll see if he is as fast as it kind of looks like he is. He's going to take the dive. Door to door. Can he throttle off? No. A little bit of advantage there to 94 on the exit, but going in, 19 should have advantage. So evenly matched right now. That outside off of the corners is just going to be a little bit. Oh, and we got a wreck behind him. I see the 7. Let me see if we could take a look here. So we got the 21 is definitely in it. Let's go out here a little bit so we can see a little bit more. 21 and 2. Oh, they door bang there. 21 goes up. 33 and 7 are just victims in it, and I think that's the 38 also that hits the inside wall. That's too bad. Just looked like the 21 there got loose and went up into the 2 car, unfortunately, and caused about a 4 car incident there. So we will re-rack here. Question is now, when you have, let's see, 20 laps maybe on tires, obviously those who just slid around and whatnot, they're going to be going into the pits, but are the leaders going to do it after 20 laps? They don't need fuel yet at this point, but the tires have such fall off, and they do have an extra set, so they could use it here. Be interesting to see who uses it and who doesn't. And I believe on this next go around here, we will get the pit open, and we will see who's going to go and who's not. It would be fun to see some different strategies to see kind of how that would play out. But we'll see what they do here. All right, here they come turn around here. We'll find out if they are going to pit or not. Nobody is gonna pit. Okay, so they're gonna run this out. Now the thing we really have to watch when we're restarting on worn tires is these, especially on concrete, they tend to spin the tires very easily. This is a situation where I might almost think about starting in 3rd gear rather than 2nd, so that I can use a little bit more of the throttle rather than just having to feather the throttle in 2nd gear. A little less horsepower off, I might lose half a truck length, but in the end, if I don't spin, it's a net gain in my mind. So we'll see kind of how this restart happens and if these guys are going to try this. Okay, so truck is off. Let's see what happens here on this restart. Alex Healy still up front with Bobby Hall, Baldwin in third, and Phillips in fourth. And he gets a good... Oh, and the 19 spins his tires, just like I was saying. I think that's what happened there. Doesn't hurt him too bad, though. He gets it pulled up. He's still going to be in fourth place, so no harm, no foul there. He's still going. Just kind of let those guys out front get a little bit away. Ooh, Chris Phillips is super loose. I thought this was going to happen on these warm tires. And now Phillips is going to try a little bit of a crossover here on the 94. He's got momentum. He's got his nose in there. 94 goes really high. And we got a caution. I do not see what happened there. And it's not telling me anything about a... Let's take a look at the... Let's take a look at the 21 car here. I'm hearing some chatter on that. So let's see, 21. There he goes. I don't see much in the way of damage. I mean, maybe he just kind of spun and iRacing called it. As you see Jeff Ledford going into the pits up top there. He does got a little bit of damage there. So something happened between them there. Just didn't really tell us what was going on, unfortunately. So I can't really do it. So, okay. So, unfortunately, I can't show you what happened there. Not really sure exactly, but he got some damage. And the 01 of Jeff Ledford, he went into the pits as well. He's coming out now. You see him there. May have been a contact incident, may have been just strategy. He wants to get tires. We'll find out here, but it doesn't look like the leaders are going to pit again. I would imagine that they're going to take it a little easy on the restart here. They're going to be much more cautious now that they felt the looseness of that one there. Looks like word from race control is 21 is getting the EOL for causing the caution spinning on his own. So single car incident there. So looks like we'll get one to go this time and we'll do it again. Hopefully everybody learned from seeing some guys get loose last time that they got to kind of take it easy. I'm really surprised that not more people are pitting with that extra set of tires that they have over what they need for fuel runs. I really thought that we would see more people, you know, maybe 8, 10, 12th place, something like that would come in and start pitting. But I guess track position they feel is that important here. As they go 2 by 2 here as we get ready for the restart. Working lap 55 here under caution, so we're just over a third of the way through this race. So we got to re-rack the field here a little bit. Alex Healy is up front. We got Chris Phillips in second, Rick Baldwin in third, Wes Wigan in fourth. So it does look like, while we were looking at the 21 there, that the 94 has pit. He is back there in the 18th position now. So I believe that he may have gone in and got tires and nobody went with him. So we'll look for him to just plow through this field at this point. Not in the bad way, in a good way. He's going to go through them quickly. Not like he's going to run them over. All right, here we go. Getting ready as we get into the restart zone here. And Healy will take off. Very cautiously goes the 6 and the 19. Much better start that time. Not as many cars getting loose. We are single file pretty much through the top 10 there. Everybody just taking it easy here. I can't say that I blame them. let's take a look. I think that's the 113 car that's got a lot of traffic going on there. There you go. You can see he's on the outside, 33 in front of him of John Schuenbachler. And that's some pretty good momentum on the outside there. Go back here. We got another caution. Oh, no, that's not good. That looks like it's Bobby Hall. Let's take a look at what happened here. He just got those tires, I believe, just got back there. And let's see what this is here. 29 gets loose on the outside and just clips him, and he hits the inside wall. 29 just pretty much lost it on his own there. Doesn't look like there was any contact. Let me back this up just one more time for us to make sure that we are seeing that right. Let's go to the blimp and get the overhead. I don't think there was any contact. Nope, that is all by himself. And he just hit one of the contenders, if you will, for this. Was leading a lot of laps. And by no means is he out, but that's definitely going to set him back, as we now have a lot of people pitting. Now they're going to do it. And that's almost the entire front. Yeah, so you have a couple people, 33, 113. These guys are staying out, maybe because they were in it and aren't allowed to pit yet, or maybe they pit last time and now they don't really need to. So we will see how that goes. As you're looking at pit lane there with our leader, Alex Healy, up front, Bobby Grady behind him, you can see there. With that first pit stall, I'm sure he'll be easily off of pit road first, as here come the other competitors. And he's off clean. Phillips in second, Baldwin third, Wigan fourth, and Grady fifth. So pretty much holding serve off of pit road here. However, we do have a few trucks that stayed out, so they're going to be out front there. Probably not really old tires, but going to have a few extra laps than these other guys. All right, as we wait for these cars to catch up, we may be getting one to go here. We'll check. Looks like we'll go one more and then we'll rack them up. So 2 laps until green. Working lap 60 here. Not quite halfway. You see the 21 is falling back. Just heard on the race control channel that he requested an EOL because he has to pit when we go green. I would assume that is probably something of the realm of speeding on pit road, so going to have to serve a black flag penalty. So he requests to go to the end so he doesn't get run over trying to do it, which is probably a very smart idea. So this is going to shake things up a little bit. We got the 33 of John Schulenbachler in first. Daniel Worthington in the 113. He is in second. The truck is pulling off, and we are fixing to go green. Scott Milliken in the 03 and Gary Steele in the 8 are all cars that were not necessarily up there but are now, so we'll see how their start goes. 33 gets a good jump there. The 03 gets loose behind, and he is in front of Chris Phillips. And that is going to slow the momentum of the 6 car and let a couple by there. So now he's going to have work to do as they both recover nicely. But I'm sure that the 6 of Chris Phillips wants to get around that car of the 03 of Scott Milliken, since he did not pit, as soon as possible. But now he's got it underway, he's got decent speed. So we'll see how these guys are going to play this out as he goes to the high side and Chris Phillips looks underneath. And I think he's going to make that pass easily. He can't quite clear him, though, but he's going to here into the corner, and he's got him clear. As you see, the 113 for the lead. And he made that pass pretty easy. And there goes Chris Phillips. He's inside of him, too. And I think these tires are really you're starting to see what the difference between even just a few lap old tires and fresh tires will do for you, as the gets by the 33 quick. Oh, no, and the 33, I think, gets loose off of that corner, hits the 19. We have a caution. Let's go back and take a look at that. So the 33 there, 33, I think he's going to get a little loose. Well, you know, from that angle, I can't really see. Let's bring it back, and let's go overhead, take a look at that. So you can see the red car on the outside, the white car on the inside. You know, that's just a battle for real estate right there. I think if you look at that, let's go back one more time, and let's play that. And I'm going to say let's pause it right. Oh, I couldn't pause it there. Dang it. Okay, well, you could see that the 19 was going up, and he thought that the 33 was going to go all the way to the wall, but he didn't. He left a half a truck width gap there, and that just made the 19 go up into him and hit him. I would assume we're going to call this a racing incident because, I mean, you would really think that the 33 would go up the track all the way to the wall, but he just decided not to. So that, unfortunately, is going to put the 33 and the 19 to the back of the field, but the 113 of Daniel Worthington is still up there hanging tough with Chris Phillips in second, Scott Milliken in third, Gary Steele in fourth, Wes Wigan in fifth. So the freshest tires in the field up towards the front is going to be Chris Phillips, so he's going to have a bit of an advantage here starting on the outside. As far as tires go, we'll see, obviously, the lead car will get a jump, but I don't know how long he's going to be able to keep Chris Phillips off. As it looks like we only have about 3 trucks out of this race after the action that we've had so far. Doesn't look like anybody's going to come into pit this time. Just getting a lot of caution flags here, so not a lot of reason to be pitting. So, looks like we got a car that's going to go around here. Maybe not. We're going to go ahead and we're going to rack them up and get going here. All right, well, let's see if Daniel Worthington can hang on to it. I mean, his tires are not worn, but he's got probably 4 or 5 laps more on him. Than say Chris Phillips there in second, and I believe the 03 of Scott Milliken is in the same boat. So we will see who prevails. I'm guessing the 6 car is going to lead here for a little bit. Looks like the 19 car has fallen back to the 21st position after that contact, so he's got some work to do, but still on the lead lap, so he should be okay. As the 113 takes off, gets the good jump. The 6 car, not a great jump, but I don't think it'll be long before he is back at him. Quite a bit of side-by-side still in the back of the field. Hopefully they can sort that out. Like to get a good run in here. As you see, the gap back to third is getting rather large. And we'll see. It looks like that 6 car is pulling up a little bit now. As they get it kind of sorted out there in the back of the field. You can see more of a single file thing, and the 6 car is just, he can hold the bottom so much better. He's so much faster, and he's got a nose inside. He's going to keep it there. He's going to show that to him so he doesn't try to take the bottom, but that's exactly what he did. And the 113 is kind of trying to hold him down there, but the tires just aren't going to do it for him. He might as well just let him go. There's no reason to race too hard here. As he goes a little wide there and lets him have it. And now he'll try to settle in there. There's a good gap back to third of the 03 of Scott Milliken. So if he can stay with the 6, he won't get past too quickly here. And he's hanging with him pretty good. I just think that 6 car is faster. It's just he's going to start to pull away here as the laps wear on, I believe. Now that Chris Phillips is out front, he can kind of relax a little bit too. He doesn't have to race too hard. He doesn't have to get in too deep. Just nice and smooth, save the tires, and he should be fine here. As we see the 03 of Scott Milliken has now caught the 113 of Daniel Worthington, so we'll see if he can make a pass here. There he goes to that high side again. I look for him to cut it down as he's doing right there. It's kind of his driving style here. We've seen that. And he's inside making the pass. Got a nose out on him, but that momentum on the high side off is going to carry him. Let's see if he can get it done here as the 88 is now completely drawn up to them and in the fight as well. And the 03 just kind of slid through there a little bit. There was an opening, though, so all good. No harm, no foul. This 113 is a hard truck to pass. He's not going to give you anything, and I wouldn't expect him to, but he's a hard racer, so look to him to just kind of fight as much as he can. Even though he doesn't have the preferred line here, he's going to get the momentum off of the corner. And I think that he went a little bit high there because the 03 kind of came up, and that's going to be it for him. And now he's got to deal with the 88. And you see side by side behind him as well. So you see that pass made. We got side by side back here with the 94 Bobby Hall making his way back. He's already back to the 4th position. And the 113 is just kind of dropping now. I think it was the tires and racing really hard there, and that kind of is going to cost him some time. As you see the 8 car go through as well. That's Gary Steele going through. And we got quite a few cars, 5 cars under a blanket right here. These guys are fighting pretty hard. Chris Phillips has brought it out to almost a 2-second lead, so if that gets any closer, we will take a look. But let's go back here. Alex Healy is trying to look to the inside there of the 92, but can't get it done on entry, loses a little bit of time. You got Rick Baldwin behind him trying to make his way back. He restarted in the 21st. He's already up to 9th. So you can really see what those tires do for him. You know, 19 got spun out there, had to go in the pits, got fresh tires on, went from 21st to 9th in a matter of 10 laps, and that's the difference in the tires. There's a lot of fall off here, so those guys will keep marching through for a little bit, and then their tires will kind of equalize a little bit. But let's take a look out front. There's Chris Phillips, and let's go to the blimp view, and you can see that's the gap right there. He's got a huge gap on the field, and he is in control at this time. I'll bring up the track map, but it's kind of hard to see all those trucks on the track. But you can definitely see that Chris Phillips has got himself a good lead, and it looks like the battle's heating up right here between the 03 and the 94. And the 7 behind him as well. And that is between the 03 and the 94. That's for the 3rd position. As you see the 7 car get loose off the corner. The 97 had to take little evasive action. I'm sorry, that's the 8 of Gary Steele there. As he goes around him. And the 94 I know has fresher tires, but the 03 of Scott Milliken's hanging in there pretty good. Let's take a look of that off the nose. You can see that the 03 car, he's caught him now, and see if he can get him. He's there. He is there. And there he goes. 03 has to concede there. So that puts Bobby Hall back in third position with Wes Wigan in second and Chris Phillips in first. There's just big gaps between those. And we got kind of a gaggle of cars back here. Let's take a look at this and see if we got any good racing back here. Not too much going on there. These guys back here, this is 18th through 21st. A little side-by-side action. There you got the 29 of Mike Allen and the 79 of Eric Corder. And then the 24 is going through the 79 there. That's Alex Foster. And the 113 is coming off of pit road now, so he went ahead and went into the pits. Oh, no, and he's spinning off of pit road. Oh, no, coming out of the pits, he spun it. Don't know that we're going to get a caution for that. He's got it still rolling here. So I think we're going to stay green. Yep, there he goes. He's still rolling. Not pitting either, so he doesn't think the damage is significant enough. But it can't be helping. As we go back out front and look at the lead there, it's about a second and a half still to second place, so he's doing great. You see that Wagner's Welding sponsor. Shout out to them in Wilkesboro, North Carolina. You know, Foothills Motorsports has been working with the Wagner Welding crew for quite a while now, many years. And you can see also that Chris Phillips is a Chiefs fan by the deck lid of his truck. We won't talk about that. We all know what happened there. Let's go back here. We got some good racing here. We got 4 cars under a blanket. You got Scott Milliken in the 03. You got that Gary Steele in the 8. You got Alex Healy in the 97 and Michael Brooks in the 92, all kind of racing there as they get it sorted out. And they're all, as soon as we go on them, they get it all sorted out. Got a decent green flag run here, so tires are really going to start playing a role here pretty soon. See that 97, a little tail happy there. He's really trying to get around this 03. I think he's got fresher tires. He knows he's faster. You see him closing up on him there. And he needs to get around because it's just eating up his tires. The more that he's got to try to do different lines and the more he's got to try to work around him, the more it's eating up his tires. And he needs to get that done quickly. But he's kind of falling back there a little bit. It looks like he's sliding a bit, driving pretty hard. Bunch of cars back here we can take a look. They're kind of all in single file as well. Got 2 teammates there in the 00 and the 01 back-to-back there. Stephen Shue and Jeff Ledford, also of Foothills Motorsports. Take a peek back out front. Lead is down to about 9/10 of a second. So not as big as it was. It was about a second and a half there for a little bit as we see Matt Granier on pit road in the 15 truck. Not sure if that's scheduled or not. You see that lead is starting to close up a bit. We have them at least in the same frame together. And it's just kind of staying the same at about 0.9 seconds of a league. So not a whole lot changing there. He closed it up a little bit, but now he's just kind of tailed off. And you see the 6 car get loose off the corner there. That's probably going to scrub some time off of it. Got to keep that thing under you. Anytime you go sideways and get, you're just scrubbing the tires, getting heat in them, and you certainly don't want that. Take a look back in the field here. We got, this is the 17 truck of George Sprinkle. He is the, I believe, the first vehicle that is a lap down at this point. So he is fighting against Dan Worthington there, trying to get that lucky dog should the caution come out again. And it looks like he just passed him for that position. So it looks like the 113 will get the lucky dog if we get another caution here. And back out front, it is back to a second. Looks like the 88 got a little loose, and the 94 is now going to go ahead and take a look and see if he can get to him. So you see them working turn 3 and 4. 94 has definitely closed the gap. Can he get around? And they're kind of running the same line, so it's going to be kind of difficult. So they come out of 2 there. Side by side-ish. He's kind of got his nose in there. He's taking a peek. Let's see what he can do. And it looks like the 88 goes up pretty high, and he's going to make that pass. But the 88's looking to cross over, but he can't do it. Oh, there goes Bobby Hall back into second position after falling back and spinning earlier off of another truck. Question is, with all that track position he had to make up, how much tire does he really have left? And can he make it back? He's about 0.8 of a second off of Chris Phillips. Running that high side there and then kind of diving down and then back out. You can see that kind of, that line he's running seems to be working pretty good for him. And we got a caution on track. So let's see what happened here. Looks like Alex Healy, Dan Worthington might be in it. Let's see if we can find it here. Let's go to the blimp and get a good view. So 97 on the outside. Looks like the 38 on the inside. Let's take a look at what happens. You know, it's just another one of those where you thought that they were going to go to the wall and they didn't, and then we just have this reaction from everybody. Just a lot of chain reaction happening there, unfortunately, that damaged a bunch of trucks there. But once again, you see that 38 on the inside, that it thinks that the truck is going to go all the way to the wall. They don't, trying to hold that truck down, and it ultimately cost them, especially the truck on the outside. So trying to hold that truck down is not working out today. It is costing people big, as you see everybody from the front starting to pit here. These are our leaders up front. So Bobby Hall dips into his, as does Chris Phillips. Healy is first on the pits there, but he had some damage. I think he came in a little early. We'll check the race off of pit road as we're working lap 101 of 150 under caution. There goes Healy. Phillips is going to hold serve. He's going to have it. Bobby Hall's coming off second, and Wes Wigan gets third. Gary Steele in fourth there. The 92 of Michael Brooks, not the one, is going to be in fifth. So we'll get it going again in just a little bit after this caution here. 2/3 of the way through this race now. So Healy is showing up front, and Matt Grenier is as well. So these two trucks up front here probably going to get a wave around. We'll see what happens. Looks like word from race control is that the 38 is going to get the EOL for getting up into the 97. So he will get the EOL, go to the end, which he probably was anyways since he got damaged. So not going to really affect him too much. And now you're starting to see trucks like Steven Shu, the 00, who is going to restart in, it looks like 7th position, starting to make his way to the front. He was kind of riding around there for a while, and I think he's starting to think it's time to go, so he's going to climb his way up the track, or up the positions, I should say. And we'll see the truck dip off here, and we'll get ready to go green. Looks like not a whole lot of trucks in that front pack there. There's a bunch of trucks that need to catch up here. There they come. But we're going green, so here we go. The 6 car, Chris Phillips, gets a great jump. He's going to be out front, no problem. Make sure everybody takes it a little easy on this first lap on those new tires. It's been a while since they had fresh ones. Ooh, we got a car up in the back there. I think that, I'm not sure who that was. It was a right truck that just kind of scraped the wall there pretty good, but didn't hit anybody else, so all is good there. Looks like that 7 car is making a move there on Gary Steele, so he gets a position there, and you see Steven Shu behind him, who's also going to try to get the 8 car. He dives to the inside. Don't count the 8 car out, though. He may be just taking it easy and waiting for this run to go on so that he has tires when they don't. He's going to protect that for now, so he... In the 8 car, Gary still settles into 6th place for now. You go back out front. We got a good battle here now. 94 car. And now the gap gets a little bit more. He caught him and then let him go. So a little back and forth here from those guys. Although I know that 94 car wants to get up there and wants to pass him, probably needs to be patient here and hold on to the tires. Stay close enough to stay in his mirror. As the 88 back there, Wes Wigan in 3rd position, he's definitely hoping they get side by side so he can make it easy to catch him. 94 goes up high with that kind of that diamond corner. Doesn't look to be helping him too much off of that corner. The lead stays kind of the same, and he's going to go up high again and see if he can make that work. Getting a little run there off of the exits, but not a whole lot. He's given up a little bit on the entrance, and then he's given it back on the exit. So not sure if that's doing much for him. It may be a little easier on the tires to float up the track, but you can see that the gap is a little more than a truck length, and it's just staying there, as now he's going to go to the inside, and Chris Phillips kind of leaves that open. And then a corner off, he's doing a lot better, and Chris Phillips is all the way against that wall, a little loose there. And while these guys are kind of battling and switching lanes, you see that 88 car starting to catch him a little bit. This is just a seesaw back and forth here. No one truck clearly better than the other. Take a look back real quick at the victim of the last accident, and that's the 97. He is now in 14th position. So he is trying to battle back there. He's got Michael Allen in front of him, and he was hoping to get around a couple of these guys pretty quickly here so he can get back to the hunt. Go back up front here, and you can see not a whole lot going on there, but we do have the 88 there that is starting to catch this group. So the 6 car would definitely like to see the 88 catch the 94 so that they could battle and fall back, but I just don't know if that's going to be the case. The 88 and the 94 are teammates, so you got to think that they're talking about it. As that battle continues, you can see a little bit more of a gap now for Chris Phillips. It looks like 2 to 3 truck lengths. So the battle here is for second, and that's just letting people come in. And you see, again, Steven Shue making a couple of spots since the restart. Let's get back to him. Excuse me. He is most likely going to be able to catch that 7 car if he continues this. He's got some good pace right now. So nobody's walking away with anything here. You can see the intensity's picking up. People are racing hard. You can see that Chris Phillips is getting, he's got about a half a second lead here, you know, call it 4 truck lengths. So he is gapping out a little bit as this 88 and 94 go at it a little bit. You also can see right there, Steven Shue is about a truck length back. He is still in the hunt there. Call it 2 truck lengths on the straight. Trying his best to get that done. Steven Shue is up 19 positions from where he started, so he's having a great afternoon if he can make that stick. The 7 truck of Isaac Singleton is also up 19 positions from where he started. Wes Wigan in 3rd position is up 13 spots from where he started. So these guys that are up front right now have driven through the field to get where they're at. Chris Phillips and Bobby Hall started up front, so they haven't had quite the gains, but they are staying up there where they started. And you can see Steven Shue is falling off a little bit now from where the 7 truck is. And they're getting a little spread out as you go through the top 5. And Steven Shue may actually be falling back into the clutches of the 8 truck, who, like I said, was possibly falling back a little bit to hold on to his tires. So he may be saying, okay, we're 10, 12 laps into this. It's time for me to start driving. And you can see him take a look to the inside there. Ooh, and he washes up a little bit. And he looks like he's going to, I don't want to say give the position back to him, but back off for a second, make sure he gets his tires underneath him and does the right thing here, which is good sportsmanship on his part. Oh, no. And then the 17, who is not even in the picture, he is a lap down. I'm not sure exactly how that came about or whose fault that was, but let's take a look there. As the 17 is a lap down. Oh, that's just net code. That's terrible. Ah, man. I mean, it's part of the game. It's part of the game, right? But, I mean, that just destroyed the 03. The 97's hit again, the 8. I mean, that's just so tough, man. But nobody's fault. It's just iRacing and netcode, but those trucks did not even look like they touched. Let's bring it back one more time here. I want to go to the blimp, and I want to see just how far back that was. So let's bring that back. Gosh, that's too bad. Actually, let's see if we can do the chase. Perfect. Let's do that. Let's play that right there. Oh, dang it. Yep. And Race Control is announcing it right now that was net code and nobody hit nobody. So, man, that's unfortunate. There were some really good trucks in there that they got caught up in that, unfortunately. That's racing. But great run there. I mean, Alex Healy had been battling all night, and just now he's beat up and has no choice really to stay up there. He's showing in P6. Just don't know if he's going to have the strength. The 8 truck of Gary Steele, you see right next to him there, he had a good run going, no fault of his, just net code. And I don't know, knocked his bumper off. He may still have a fast repair, so he might still be in it. We'll see where these guys rack up, but there's a bunch of trucks that are on pit road right now, so we'll see how this all settles out as we work lap 122 of 150. Getting to almost 25 to go here. This is probably going to be the last pit stop of quite a few drivers. With the cautions that we have, I have to assume that a lot of these guys have used all 4 tires. They have plenty of fuel to go. Unless they have an issue, there's really no reason to come in, and you're going to see a bunch of these guys now peel off that were in that accident. So with these guys pitting, we're going to go back up front here. We're going to see that the 94 is back out front. Isaac Singleton in the 7 is in second. Michael White in the 53 truck is in third. And it looks like the 6 is of Chris Phillips is in 5th. So the 6 car was out front, but may have gone down to pit road there and gotten some service. So we'll see here as we get going. I feel as though the 7 truck is not going to be as fast as some of these others, and he may have older tires, and we're going to see how this restart goes for him. But the pace truck is pulled off as we get ready to get going here as they approach the restart zone. And there he goes. The 94 gets a great jump. The 7 spins his tires. The 00 of Steven Shue has got to go, and they are 3 wide. Chris Phillips wasting no time there up on the high side. He's got to get the 53 out of his way. He's going to try to go hot. Oh, the 53 is just in the way. Nothing he can do. Not his fault, but he is just holding up the 6 truck. The 6 truck goes low, gets around. He's in third now. Look for him to push through the field as much as possible here. I think with 26 to go, we're not worried with tires as much. He's just going to go for it. And there he goes on the inside of the 7. Going to make this pass and then set sail for that 94 truck. And this is the battle. These two have been the class of the field all night long. And we will see who prevails here. But you see the 6 is just pulling up on the 94. So much faster than him right now. Oh my gosh, and the 94 goes around, collects the 7. Okay, let's take a look at that one. You know, a little bit of blocking, a little bit of aggression, and you just see, yeah, he's just not much I can say there. I'm trying to be nice about it. I'm just, you know, it's just the 94 is not really picking a spot, picking a lane. You see he's in the middle of the track. That's not where you normally run. Okay, every time people come off of the corners here, they're running at the top, and he sees the 6 truck getting him. The 6 truck is trying to go low to make this pass. Let's back it up all the way to here. Let's take a look. He's trying to go low right there, and the 94 is holding it low, and he's not going up to the top of the track so that Chris can make that pass, and consequently he gets turned around because of it. Right or wrong, that's in the eye of the beholder. I'm just here to tell you what happened. So the 94 is going to have to regroup here. Let's go ahead and go back to live, and let's take a peek here. So Chris Phillips is going to be leading. Michael White is in the 53 is second. Michael Brooks in the 92 is third. Wes Wigan, 88, is fourth. And Jeff Ledford in the 01 is going to be fifth. This is going to put Bobby Hall is in the pits right now, showing an 11th position. Don't know how much damage he's got. I think he had to use his fast repair when he got turned around earlier, so this may be his evening. I can't really say. We will see if he pulls off here shortly. In the meantime, it looks like from the racing we've seen this evening that Chris Phillips is in the catbird seat right now. As they may be getting one to go here. We'll check that out in just a second. And it looks like the 53 is pulling wide, so they are going to lock up. And you see that the 94 there, Bobby Hall, is pulling off of the pits. It does appear he is in 12th position, and he has stayed on the lead lap. All right, so as they are on the backstretch here getting ready to go, we will be going green with 21 laps to go. They did not have a ton of laps on their tires, so I wouldn't expect them to have too much of a spinning issue or anything like that. So we should have a pretty clean start here, but we'll see when we get there. As the pace truck pulls off, the field is in the hands of Chris Phillips to see if he can seal the deal on this. And don't look now, but you got Jeff Ledford in the 5th position there. And Chris Phillips takes off like a cannon. He has got a great jump on the field there. The 92 of Michael Brooks is trying to hold on to second there, as you see Jeff Ledford working 4th, trying to get to the 3rd position. So 1st and 2nd are breaking away. It looks like the real battle is right here for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And that 53 is looking a little loose there on the bottom. May have clipped the apron a little bit. That lets the 01 of Jeff Ledford get really close to him. And now he's just waiting for him to make a mistake, really. He gets a little bit of a gap there, so he's going to have to reset and try to get back after him. Meanwhile, you got Chris Phillips that just set his best lap of the race at a 23:08, which is fast. I don't think they even qualified that fast. So he is on the pedal. No reason to save the tires with 18 to go. And he is out to a half a second lead. You can see that there. These two trucks have just broken out from the field. In fact, from Michael Brooks in 2nd, it's almost a 3-second lead. In fact, something just happened there to Michael White. Not sure exactly, but he must have clipped a wall or something. He just lost a couple of spots. So put Wes Wigan into 3rd, and Jeff Ledford is still in 4th. Wasn't able to make a pass there. And then you can see that the lead up front is still half a second there. Nothing really changing there. 1st and 2nd are 3.5 seconds in front of Wes Wigan in the 3rd position. So nothing really to see there. There's a big gap. You can see, I'll pull up the track map here. You can see just exactly how different these two are as the leaders cross the stripe. You can see there is 3rd place just now coming into the screen, pretty much a straightaway away from them. So this is the battle for the win right now, as we are 15 to go. And it looks like Chris Phillips is gaining about half a tenth a lap. He is able to pull away here. So while the 92 there showing the 1 of Michael Brooks was able to catch a little bit, it looks like now he's starting to fall off a little bit, and Chris is just staying steady, doing his thing. No real big battles going on throughout the field, so we're going to stay here at the lead for now. as you see Alex Healy in front of them a lap down now. Hopefully he will just stay out of the way there. As he does, he gives plenty of room for the 6, stays against the wall. Looks like he's going to go high for the 92 there. And they both get through cleanly, and that doesn't change much of anything. 8/10 is the lead right now. So it is growing. 3 or 4 laps ago, it was 6/10, so he is still about half a tenth a lap faster. As he is just looking smooth out there trying to take this thing home. If you were watching earlier in the season, you saw Chris Phillips won at Iowa, our other short track of the season so far. So Chris is definitely showing his skills on the short tracks here. Ten laps to go now. Lead is staying just about the same. No real change there. Got a little bit of a battle back here. Let's take a look at that for 11th position. That's Mike Babicek in the 55 and Mike Allen in the 29. Just in front of that, you got Steven Shue and Bobby Hall racing for it. Bobby Hall is a comeback king today. He is finding himself back in the 8th position after everything that he's been through. What, you know, when you get down to season championships, when you see that somebody doing something like this, these are the races that make champions, because he could have easily been out of this race, lost his cool, lost his head, finished in the 20s, and really hurt himself in points. But here he is battling Steven Shue for the 8th position in this race. Let's go back out front as it's starting to get a little bit tighter here. We're back down to 6/10. Not that that's a problem with 8 to go. He should have plenty. He just needs to stay smooth here, and Chris will have this thing won no problem. And we do have a car in front of them who's going to be pitting right now, just announced on radio, but he's going to be clear. There he goes before they get there, so no problem there. Lead is holding at 6/10, so I don't think that there is much of a threat here as we are at 6 to go. Although we start working lap traffic, we might have a little bit of a problem. Hopefully these guys will get out of the way here late in the run. Five laps to go now. This is a lap car up front here. Looks to be running high, so Chris should be able to get around him no problem. At the stripe, we still got 6/10 of a lead, so nothing changing there. A little more of a battle here. Now Steven Shue is kind of fall. Oh no! And as I go to it, the 00 and the 29, Mike Allen and Steven Shue get into it. Steven's still trying to get that thing under him. As Mike Allen goes around, not sure exactly whose fault that was, but they definitely came together. Let's go back out front as they're working through this, but this is allowed with this kind of chaos out front. This has allowed the second place vehicle to get close to Chris, but now that he's clear of it all, he's still got to be able to pass him. And with 3 to go, coming up to 2 to go, now the second place car has to work the outside, which is not the fastest. We're back up to 6/10, and it looks like Chris has recovered from that very well. Got through there no problem. 2 laps to go now, and it looks like he is in control. No issues here. Nice and smooth. Take her home. One lap remaining. Last lap. A bunch of cars up front there, but I don't think that he's even going to get to him. He doesn't even have to. It's at 3/4 of a second is the gap now, and he got this in the bag. Makes it clean through 3. Looking solid through 4. Here he comes. Chris Phillips has won at Dover Motor Speedway for his second win of the season. So congratulations to him. Let's let these guys line up and do their thing, and then we will get them in the booth here for an interview. Let's get you the finishing results. If we can pull that up, let's get the track map out of the way. And of course, it's on the bottom half again. So let me give you the breakdown here. So first, obviously, Chris Phillips, as he does his burnouts. Wes Wigan is in second. Michael Brooks third. Jeff Ledford finishes fourth. Gary Steele in fifth. Bobby Grady gets sixth. Dakota Shepard is in seventh position. Bobby Hall ends up eighth with an amazing comeback tonight. Michael White ends up 53rd, number 53, ends up ninth. Stephen Shue, 00, he is in the 10th position. Mike Babicek finishes 11th. Mike Allen in 12th. Gordon Spain is 13th. Matt Granier is 14th. Scott Millard is 15th. Alex Healy finishes 16th. Daniel Worthington 17th. Eric Corder gets 18th. Isaac Singleton in 19th. 20th is going to be George Sprinkle with Scott Milliken in 21st. Alex Foster in 22nd. Rick Baldwin finishes 23rd. John Schulenbachler in 24th. Mark Cofield in 25th. 26th is going to be Robert Schredt. Thomas Hall in 27th. And John Van Blaircom is in 28th tonight. Unfortunately, John had to leave because he has a shoulder issue and couldn't continue racing, so that's unfortunate. But let's take a look now at our leaders. Let's see if we can get our top finishers in the booth here. And we're going to start with Michael Brooks, if I can find him. And I'm going to pull him to the booth. Michael Brooks, this is Matthew Gall in the booth. You got me? Hold on one second. I cannot hear you.
Hello?
Hey, you got me?
Yeah, I got you, brother.
All right, good deal. Hey, so great finish tonight. Great race. I think this is the first time you've been in a post-race interview with this, so finishing on the podium. How was the race tonight?
Yeah, man. It was I felt fortunate to avoid some wrecks there. I kind of stayed in the top 5, top 8, top 10 all night long, and this is only my second race with you guys, so I really had a great time.
Great. Well, tell me about the strategy out there and the tire wear, and kind of what was your mindset going into this whole thing with the short track racing?
Well, to be honest with you, I just kind of saved a little tire when I could, when I really wasn't pressured, and really just kind of took tires when I needed to. And luckily, we had a long green flag run there before I took my last set.
10-4. Well, great race tonight. Good to see you up front early in your stint with SRN. If you have any sponsors or anybody you want to thank, go ahead and give your shout outs.
Yeah, man. I want to thank my sponsor, Miller High Life, of course, and thank all the boys back at the shop back in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And I appreciate Race Control for doing a great job of hosting this thing.
Very good. Awesome. Well, congratulations tonight. We are headed, I want to say, Kansas next week, and we look to see you doing well there again.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night. All right. Wes Wigan, this is Matthew in the booth. You got me?
I got you, man.
Hey, sir, second place tonight. That's a great finish. Finally finished in front of your teammate there, Bobby Hall. How was the race tonight?
Oh, the race was great. This is one of my favorite tracks, so I was really looking forward to it. Enjoyed it. Strategy was kind of messed up with my qualifying. That one lap for qualifying really got me. I was kind of just warming my tires the first lap. So when I noticed it was counting, and the only lap counting, I was going to be stuck at the back, and just had to, slowly make my way to the front and I was able to do that, keep my truck clean, and just just
Yeah.
it was a good race.
It seemed like starting at the back wasn't the worst thing. You kind of avoided some carnage and made your way through, and it all worked out.
Yeah, that first caution, that first crash, I was able to snake my way through it. Luckily, with no damage. I thought for sure I was going to be collected, but everybody held their brakes, so I was able to just kind of snake through it. So,
Yeah.
yep. I gotta apologize to Michael Brooks though. That last lap, I mean, I was considerably faster, and we just kind of came together off the corner. I hit the brakes and lifted, trying to give him the spot back, but it was just too late. So,
Yeah.
hopefully he's not too pissed off at me, but it was nothing intentional.
Well, he didn't seem too upset in the interview, so I guess he's okay still finishing third. So, so very good. Well, hey, who do you want to shout out? Team sponsors? Who you got?
Definitely gotta thank SRN. This league's pretty phenomenal. Really enjoy racing with all these guys. Herbal Life Apothecary, I think is what it is.
Natural Life Apothecary.
Natural Life Apothecary.
It's a mouthful.
And then my teammates at Flex Motorsports, we all put the work in, try to be better. So everyone over there, appreciate them.
Yeah, you guys are doing good. Season starting off good for everybody. So we head to Kansas next week. Is that a good track for you? You looking to repeat there?
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty strong everywhere just because of the support with the team. I mean, we put the work in, and we all try to figure out the fastest way around each track. So I think we're going to be good.
Awesome. Well, good talking to you. Hopefully we'll be talking to you in the booth next week again. Congratulations tonight. Go celebrate.
Appreciate it, man. Congrats to Chris.
All right. All right, let's see if we can bring Chris Phillips in here, our race winner. Let's pull him. Chris, you got me in the booth?
Yes, sir. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing pretty good, man. That was quite a show out there. How was the race from the seat?
Well, I'm literally drenched in sweat right now, so it was pretty. It's a pretty tough track.
Yeah. The racing was intense. I mean, there was some stuff going on. You had to avoid some things, but I mean, you had a strong truck all night. Were you able to stay aggressive, or were you saving tires? What were you having to do to keep it out there?
I'm trying to learn from my mistakes on the earlier races where I go too hard, too fast. I was happy with running top 5 there in the first half of the race, and we got some little bit of a run on older tires there, and I thought I was going to be in trouble, but we didn't get any more long runs there. And I mean, I was pretty aggressive there for a while, and it was a good race.
Yeah. Tell me about the battle with Bobby Hall. You guys were close to each other up front for quite a bit of the race. I know you wanted to beat him bad. Were you giving him a little extra attention, trying to make sure you stayed in front, or you caught him, or was it just another driver?
Bobby's a hell of a driver. I haven't personally talked to the guy or anything, but I mean, dude's got some skills on here. He's fast. Yeah, I want to beat everybody. I mean, that's the name of the game.
Right.
I was racing him hard, just as hard as everybody else, And one of the rules is not to block. We were over halfway down the track. And
yeah.
I'm not going to lift. I'm not lifting. I was on the inside, so.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Having to do the call was interesting because it was hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. It was like
I get that.
I see what I see. I don't know if I want to say it. But he was, like I say, he was out of position. When you come off a corner, everybody is always up against that wall, and
right.
he wasn't
and
there.
I even lifted coming off
and you were
the corner.
trying your best to go low, but you can't go off the track either. So,
right.
Unfortunate that he went around, but wasn't what I don't think it was intentional at all. It was just hard racing, and that's what happens when you're doing that. So. He recovered well. I think he ended up finishing 8th. So, I mean, not the end of the world for him. Great bounce back.
I think he's got a couple of wins. He's all right.
Yeah, he's got a few. He's going to be okay.
He'll probably get a few more before it's over with. So
exactly.
Well,
you are definitely.
Listen, I did not wreck him on purpose, but I'm just not going to be blocked anymore. And
right.
I'm going to race everybody the same. You know that. Everybody in here knows that.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I know that you have won at Iowa now, and now you've won here at Dover, both short tracks that we've done. I guess we can look for you to be strong at the short tracks, and you're the guy to beat there, huh?
No, I'm not good at short tracks. I mean, I don't know what it is. It's just the off throttle. I mean, you put a loose truck in my hands and I can go fast. I
Right.
don't like the wide open stuff. Little skill goes a long ways on these kind of tracks.
Yeah, you definitely
Yes.
have to work at it more, and you can see the guys that are able to have more control when
Right.
it counts, and we definitely saw, through 2/3 of the way through the race, you saw, Ledford and Shu and some of your teammates that were back there just kind of rising to the top, and that's kind of exactly what I expected to see, some of those good drivers. Unfortunately, Baldwin was one of them, but he got caught up in some stuff and never really recovered. So, but yeah, these guys are just kind of moving through the field because the cream rises to the top when it's a tough track like that. So, but hey, congratulations tonight. Win 2 on the season. Give us your shout outs, your teammates, sponsors, whatever you want.
My Foothill boys, Steven, Chris, Jeff. I got to thank them. I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for them guys. They brought me in, and they're some good old boys. James Wagner Weldon, awesome guy. Does a lot for us. Love him. Big shout out to him. Need any kind of welding? Hit that dude up. Look on my hood. There's his number.
Yep, he's out of North Wilkesboro, North Carolina, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Your network, Southern Racing Network, you guys are doing a good job. I hate that you're not down here racing with us. I like beating you just as much as anybody else, Matt.
Gee, thanks.
Yeah, Mag Real Estate. Your natural life. I will order it. Don't worry, it's going
I
to
got
happen.
you.
I appreciate
All
everything
right.
you're doing for us, Matt. Man, you're doing a great job.
All right, thank you, man. Well, hey, congratulations on your second win of the season. We'll see you at Kansas next week, and maybe we'll be talking to the booth again.
All right, man. I hope so. We'll see you.
All right, you have a great night.
You too.
All right, y'all. Well, that is your finishing top 3 there. That was your winner. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. We will be back next week, same time at Kansas Speedway. So that should be fun. Completely different track, and we'll see who rises to the top there. Until then, y'all be good.